Welcome to Veteran Connection, VA Butler Healthcare's cable show. We bring important news and information to our veterans and friends of VA Butler Healthcare. I'm your host, Cynthia Closkey. Thanks for joining us today. In this episode, we're talking about women veterans healthcare. With me today is Air Force veteran Grace Charney. Grace enlisted in the U.S. Air Force in January 1973 and was commissioned in February 1974. After specialized training, she became an intelligence officer and served most of her military career at headquarters staff levels in the Philippines, the Pentagons and other locations around D.C., Germany, and Colorado. She retired in February 1993 as a lieutenant colonel. One of the first things she did on her return to Western PA was to register with VA Butler Healthcare. Thanks for talking with us today, Grace.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You've had quite a career with the military. What did you enjoy most about that?
The opportunity to travel and meet so many different people and enjoy so many different environments, particularly other cultures in the Philippines and in Germany, around Europe as much as I could.
Fantastic.
And also the opportunity to see so much of the United States and to share that with my family. So.
What first brought you to VA Butler Healthcare?
When I was retiring, one of the things that they emphasized in my retirement processing was that the VA was the most important aspect of retirement care. And since I had access so nearby to VA hospitals, I thought I should come here immediately, and I think it was the second day I was home that I was actually here to the Butler facility. I was familiar with it before that. I had come here as a civilian on occasion to visit people or to be part of different programs that were arranged for the residents here, so I knew about it. And I just came immediately and signed up and got into the system as soon as possible.
Which services have you used?
Well, I've had 6 surgeries through the system.
Tough to keep track after all
Yes,
that.
and I've had all of my annual physicals and preventive maintenance care, if you will, through the VA since I retired. I probably came in here around the beginning of February in '93, and I've been back for the last 19 years for care.
Which of those services have been most helpful? I'm sure the surgeries were important.
Well, the surgeries are the reason I'm alive and able to be here. I had 2 open heart surgeries 3 years ago, which were critical, and I had both knees replaced, and I was here for recuperative care and recovery after that. I had both carpal tunnel releases done as well, and I came here for outpatient therapy for that. So I've made extensive use of the therapy and kinesiology clinics and the, as I said, the recuperative care as well. So.
Are those services you're using currently?
I still come in on occasion to the physical therapy department, but I'm not regularly back for those at this point, thank God. I don't need that extensive care for those. I'm more often on my way to the Oakland facility for follow-up on my cardiac care. And I had some neurological problems in between the surgeries. I had 2 major strokes and heaven knows how many smaller ones, and they're still trying to assess and deal with the consequences of those. So
it's a good thing that there's a full slate of services available for you.
Absolutely. and in my opinion, the VA is the best kept secret in medical care in the country. And I only wish that everybody could take advantage of the VA care in our area, and that all who are eligible would do so, because it's absolutely been marvelous for me. There aren't enough superlatives in the dictionary.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Over the years, have you seen the women veterans healthcare change?
I've been fortunate enough to be seen by the same doctor for most of the time that I've been with the VA. My gynecologist was here from the first day that I came in until just about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So I had quite a continuum of care, and I had no qualms or problems being with him that whole time. That's been the case with most of my physicians and the nursing staff, and so the therapists as well. I can't really say that I've seen a big change in the women's care, because I haven't needed to take advantage of all that's available. I know that there are a lot of things that are available, but I've just not needed them, and I've needed the other care more, so I'm not that familiar with all of the programs that are offered for the women.
It does sound, though, that the women's services that you've received were exactly what you needed.
Absolutely. As I said, I had all my gynecology care. I've been for my annual mammograms and the GYN exams and so on. Yes, everything was scheduled well in advance for me, and then I
worked in there
and then I got reminders in time for me to correlate any other appointments that I might have had or might have needed to be in line with the others. So it's all worked out very well.
That's perfect. What advice might you give to women veterans about VA care?
Take advantage of it. Come in and sign up immediately, if not sooner. And if you haven't taken advantage of it and you've been eligible for a number of years, don't think that it's too late. They should get in and take care of what they can and get into the system as soon as possible. And from my experience here and talking with friends who have tried to use the VA elsewhere in the country, I'd say that VA Butler and the Pittsburgh system are, bar none, the best in the country, because from the very first day that I was here, I was a person to everyone concerned. The second time I came in, I was called by name, and as I said, I've had the same people seeing me for better than 18 years. So you don't get much better care than that.
Fantastic.
So,
thank you so much, Grace, for sharing
You're very
your
welcome.
experience.
You're very welcome, and I'm happy to be here, and I hope that others will take advantage of their eligibility with the VA as well.
Great. I'm joined now by Brenda Sprouse, VA Butler's Women Veterans Healthcare Program Manager. Hey, Brenda.
Hi.
So how many women veterans are using VA healthcare?
Last year in 2011, we had just over 1,000.
And what services are available for them?
Well, they have primary care services, just like the male counterparts do. We have gender-specific services available for them, as far as mammography, GYN, general services. behavioral health care. We also have services for homeless veterans and veteran justice outreach program that we have, healthy living programs that they're available to enroll in.
Do they have to do anything special to get gender-specific services, or does it just kind of flow with the rest of the services here?
Well, when they're due for their exam, they can either contact their primary care provider or myself, and we can set them up with an appointment that's suitable for them, and then they can get their services here, or we can refer them to Pittsburgh, VA.
Mm-hmm. And what about prenatal and child care? Is that also involved?
Yes. Once we confirm pregnancy, that's either through a blood sample or a urine sample, their provider will put in a referral to the community, and then we approve it to pay for services, to agree to pay for services for their care, preferably starting in the first trimester to continue through their postpartum discharge.
Okay. Now you mentioned homeless veterans, women veterans who are homeless, maybe with children. What do they need to do to get help?
We have a homeless veteran program manager, and he works with the veterans to see what eligibility they have, what their certain, everybody's circumstances are different, what issues they have, and how we can help them. He can be reached at 724-285-2240. Fantastic.
Now, you also mentioned behavioral health care services. What special services are those for women?
Well, we have the whole gamut of behavioral health counseling, but for women veterans, I do like to point out that we have counseling for post-traumatic stress disorder, or otherwise known as PTSD, and military sexual trauma. The acronym for that is MST. Also parenting and caregiver issues, as well as violence and abuse counseling for those folks.
I'm not sure everybody knows quite what you mean by MST. Could you talk more about that?
Well, here at the VA, we use acronyms for everything, so it's MST, which stands for military sexual trauma. What we deem as military sexual trauma is any unwanted or uninvited sexual attention that a female or a male would encounter while on active duty.
And so you've got special treatment here. Is there a particular focus on that?
Yes, we have an MST coordinator. It's Dr. Martha Andiorio, and if she's not available, we do have a backup for that, and she offers counseling.
Are there any new services planned?
Yes, we're very excited. We'll be able to offer domiciliary services to female veterans coming this spring, 2012. We've historically been able to offer them to male veterans, but weren't able to house female veterans. With the new domiciliary, they will be able to be housed in a separate, safe, secure environment.
That's fantastic. That'll
Yes.
be a real big help, particularly for some of the, you mentioned homeless before.
Yes.
So it's a pretty wide range of services.
Yes.
If there was one thing that you wanted our viewers to take away today, what would you want them to know?
That women are veterans too. A lot of women don't view themselves as veterans, let alone others viewing them as veterans. This isn't your grandfather's VA anymore. We do have women's services, and we are working on expanding them. Come in, or you can even get on the website. We have links to a lot of services that they can look at their convenience, and just come in and use the services that you've earned.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Brenda.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about health and wellness with VA Butler's Health Promotion and Disease Prevention Manager, Karen Dunn. How are you, Karen?
I'm fine, Cindy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So it's the new year. Everyone always has new resolutions, and I think what we're talking about today is eating wisely, right?
We are. That's one of the healthy living messages.
So do you have like general guidelines for how you eat wisely?
Well, we have some general recommendations, and normally what we want to tell people is to eat a variety of foods and beverages from the basic food groups. And we choose hopefully fruits, vegetables, and whole grains.
Sure. Are there are some choices for fruits and vegetables particularly good?
Well, the recommendation for a daily intake on fruits and vegetables is 5 to 9 servings a day. And that's about 2.5 cups of fruits and 2.5 cups of vegetables. Some good choices would be some fruits that don't have added sugar or the syrup. And for vegetables, you want to choose ones that don't have any added salt, butter, or the nice cream sauces that we like.
That's too bad. Now, I know that whole grains are important. How many whole grains are we supposed to have?
The recommendation for daily intake of whole grains is 3 ounces. To put that into better perspective, that 1 ounce is about a slice of bread, or a cup of breakfast cereal, or about 1/2 cup of cooked rice or pasta. And if you really want to know what a whole grain is, if you're eating a whole grain, your best bet to do is to look at the ingredient list on the product that you're going to eat. If it's whole grain, the first ingredient should say whole grain. Examples of whole grain would be whole wheat, brown rice, some buckwheat, whole rye, oatmeal, whole oats, bulgur, whole grain, barley, and wild rice are some good examples, and that should be the first ingredient listed on the product that you're going to consume for it to be a whole grain.
Now, salt, is it really bad for you?
Well, salt is bad for some people more than others, but the recommendation for choosing foods would be little added salt, and when you're preparing food, we wouldn't want you to add any salt. So to prepare foods without adding salt is the best way to go. For eating salt, the recommendation is less than 1 teaspoon of salt a day for normal individuals. That's about 2,300 milligrams of salt. For middle-aged people and older, or anybody that has high blood pressure, what you want to do is limit your salt intake to about 1/2 teaspoon per day. And that's somewhere around 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And again, looking at the product ingredients will give you the milligrams of sodium that are included so that you can realize how much salt you're intaking. Because a lot of products have a lot more salt in them than you can realize. So it's good to check.
A slice of bread can have a lot more than potato chips, I think.
Exactly. It doesn't actually have to taste salty to include a lot of salt because, as a lot of people realize, salt is used as a preservative. So it is included in a lot of things that we don't really think about when we're eating them. So it's always good to look at the ingredients to see what's included.
Or make it at home.
Exactly.
Now, if our veterans would like more information on eating wisely, where should they go?
Well, there's many places to go. Actually, it's a good idea to come here. I'm giving you a little bit of information about eating wisely, but we have wonderful dietitians on staff here that are the gurus of nutrition and eating wisely. So checking with any of our dietitians, at the VA Butler is a great thing to do. We also have our website for the National Center for Health Promotion and Disease Prevention, and that's www.prevention.va.gov. There's another wonderful website for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, and it's www.choosemyplate.gov. And they have great information on the food groups and eating wisely. They have a new promotion. I think everyone's aware of the pyramid that they used to talk about the food
that
groups.
In school or somewhere.
Very difficult for people to understand, even for healthcare providers. It's not really the best way to look at on how to eat. But now they have the Choose My Plate icon. If you go to the website, you'll see that, and it has a nice picture of a plate, and it portions out the food groups on what you should eat. So it's really easy. It's a nice visual picture for anyone to understand on what the basic food groups are and what you should be eating from them.
So if you actually make your plate look like their picture, then you're on the right track?
Right.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Karen.
Thank you, Cindy.
At VA Butler Healthcare, we're always looking for ways to connect with the community. Here to tell us about those efforts is Luella McKee, VA Butler's Veteran Outreach Coordinator. Hey, Luella.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Now, what is outreach?
Outreach is the program that we have designed to take VA information into the community to continue to educate veterans and their family members as well as the general public as to eligibility and enrollment and what services are available for veterans with the VA. It can be a small question and answer for a private group. I go to American Legions and VFWs and things for their monthly meetings and can talk to them specific about things that they want to know. Or we can do health fairs, which include health screenings, such as a blood pressure screening, diabetic blood screening, COPD, which is a breathing issue. We can do a screening for that. Body mass index to check on where you stand with your height and weight ratio, and bone density screenings to see if you need to have further things checked as far as that. We take different program lines out into the community. Behavioral health information, the MOVE program, which is the Veteran Weight Management Program. And they go with us, health promotion and disease prevention, My Healthy Vet, just to name a few of those. We target the information for each specific group. If they have a request, we'll make sure that we have that information there for them. We go out into the community, like I said. We've participated in several different events this past year. The Bantam Jeep Festival that was held here in Butler. We were there both days up at the fairgrounds, and we did Wings Over Pittsburgh and the Wounded Warrior 5K also in November. So
That's a lot of efforts. It
We're
must be
trying.
very important to the VAs.
It is very important, and it's also very important to me because I'm a veteran also. So if we take the information out there, then I can help educate my comrades, make sure that they're getting the benefits that they're eligible for.
Sure. If things they may not even know are available to them.
Correct.
If someone is watching here and is interested in scheduling an outreach event or a health fair, what should they do?
They would contact me. My name is Luella McKee, as we said, and my phone number is 724-285-2778. Or if they call the main VA number, they can just ask for me, and they know how to get a hold of me. And one of the things that we want to be sure to do is to continue to do these efforts. The VA has set the bar a little bit higher when it comes to quality health care, and we have excellent care specific to our veterans. And we want to continue to educate for initiatives and special programs that VA is doing.
Fantastic. And there's so many different things. You'll be able to help someone figure out what's the right outreach event that would connect with what they're doing.
Absolutely. That's what we do.
Fantastic, Luella. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Let's answer questions from veterans. Ken Calbert, Acting Associate Director for Operations at VA Butler Healthcare, is here with a question that a veteran sent in. Which question do we have today?
Today we have, I'm a OEF Women Veteran. Should I work with the OEF, OIF, OND Program Coordinator or the Women Veterans Program Coordinator? Should I choose one or both? And really, you should work with both program managers. The OEF, OIF, OND Program Coordinator will help you understand all the benefits and services available to you as a U.S. veteran, and the Women's Veterans Program Manager is a healthcare professional who serves as an advisor and advocate for women veterans. You may contact the OEF, OIF, OND Program Coordinator at 800-362-8262, extension 2493, or the Women's Veterans Healthcare Program Manager at 800-362-8262, 2756. We also welcome walk-ins.
Thanks very much, Ken.
You're welcome.
If you have a question that you'd like us to answer in a future episode, please email it to vetconnect@zoominternet.net. That's all for this episode of Veteran Connection. I'd like to extend our deep thanks to Grace Charney, Brenda Sprouse, and Luella McKee. Thanks for being on the show. For more VA Butler news and information, please visit our website, www.butler.va.gov. You can also connect with us on our social media pages, facebook.com/VAButlerPA and twitter.com/VAButlerPA. For even more information, tune in for our monthly podcasts at talkshoe.com/TC/85029. You can call in or you can listen live, and you can also download past episodes. Thanks so much for watching. Check your local cable listings for the next episode of VA Butler Healthcare's Veteran Connection, where we're making lives better every day.